Record. Okay, I handed out on Tuesday. Share my screen. Handed out on Tuesday. In my way. This sheet here, okay, and also this sheet here. Okay, so if you've not got it, I'll put it up on the board anyway, and you can copy the questions down. Okay, so let them jump in. A few more people joining, 2 seconds. Okay, so as I said, handed this out on Tuesday, so hopefully you've got this in front of you. Okay, or you can get it, but I'll stick it up on the screen as well as we're working through it. Okay, so as we're working through it, don't try and copy down the question because there's quite a lot of it. Just copy down what it is. Okay, so the past paper 2016, paper 1, question 12. All right, that's the main bit of information you need. Okay, and then you can find that later on. So just copy that 2016, paper 1, question 12. Okay, and that will allow you to go and find it later on. Okay, so wanting to work through these because they are quadratics, but they put it in such a format that it looks difficult. Seconds, just open this up. Get this into. Everyone's just getting in my way tonight. Okay, hopefully you see that. Everyone got 2016 paper 1, question 12 in front of them? Yep. Thumbs up. Everyone got that in front of them? Anyone?
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, so let's have a wee look and break that question down. Just turn off the light, guys. I'm in a dark room myself, dodgy. Okay, looking at this question, it's quite a lot going up. So it looks, we've got shapes going on. Okay, we've got x's, we've got different lengths. Okay, don't panic when you see something like this. Okay, that's the first thing I can say. Part A of it is find an expression for the area of a rectangle. Now, we should know that area of a rectangle is length times the breadth. Okay, so the length for this rectangle, they've given us an expression. They've given us x. Sorry, not. They've given us 2x plus 1. Okay, and the breadth, they've given us x plus 8. So we're just putting that together. Okay, and once you put that together, it's in a format we're sort of used to. Okay, just double check the answer if that's it. Just Yep, and that's the answer. That is literally it. Okay, that's all they're looking for you to do for that first part. Okay. B adds on to that. So once you've got that, B often gives you a wee hint of where it's going. Okay. Part B then, we have a wee look at that. Part A up there. It's not working. Okay. Part B. So we've had tougher. So given that the area of the rectangle is equal to the area of the triangle, show that x squared minus 2x minus 8 equals 0. Okay, so ignore that x squared minus 2x minus 8 right now. Okay, that's where we want to try and get to. That's our target. Okay, we need to start with this bit. Okay, given the area of the rectangle. Now we just found out an expression for the area of the rectangle. We just found out that the area of the rectangle is 2x plus 1, x plus 8. Okay. Now the area of the rectangle is equal to the area of the triangle. Okay. We now need an expression for the area of a triangle. The area of a triangle, we take it over here. Area triangle is equal to half of the length times the breadth. Okay, so that is not given to you. That is something that you have to sort of be aware of. Okay, so we did it right at the start when we were doing shapes, but an area of a rectangle is half of the length times, oh sorry, the height. Say the breadth, same thing. Okay, half of the length times the height. The area of that triangle we've got in front of us is half times the 2x plus 5 times the 3x. Okay, does everyone see where that's coming from? So the width of that rectangle is our 2x plus 5. Our height is that 3x. Okay, so a half times length times our height. Okay, what this allows us to do, because that looks quite messy still, is that half and that 2 cancel each other out. Okay, so we're left with x plus 5 multiplied by 3x. Okay, or another way we can write that, 3x bracket x plus 5. Okay. Remember, you can do multiples any order you want. Okay, so x plus 5 in the bracket multiplied by 3x is the exact same as 3x multiplied by x plus 5. Okay. So we can take that back up and we can put it equaling our area for the rectangle. Okay, so if we take that 3x, x plus 5, that whole thing now becomes our expression. All right, so it's quite difficult to get there. Okay, it's quite a wee bit of work in my opinion to get there, but that's where we need to start. So now we need to take the left-hand side and the right-hand side and open up the brackets and then rearrange, collect the like terms. So we're going way back to, you know, September, October time, collecting the like terms, and we're hoping to end up with that x squared minus 2x minus 8. Okay.
Daniel, can I ask, before you move on any further, why does that half and x2 cancel each other out, or times 2 even? Why does that cancel each other out?
2 divided by 2 just gives you 1. All right, so isn't this, so 2 multiplied by a half is going to give you 1. All right, and we don't write 1 when we're writing algebra.
Cool.
There could be a 1 in there.
I done it the other way around. I just went 1 times 2, 2, and then 2 obviously. Oh, it's still good. Same answer, actually, sorry.
That's exactly right.
All right.
So yeah, 1 times 2 over 2.
And then 0, yeah, 1.
Yeah, gives you 0, so you can cancel that out. That's good. Yep. All right. So now we're breaking the brackets. All right. So we're going back to previous skills. Okay, but nothing to be scared of. Okay, so first terms multiply together, 2x squared. outside terms plus 16x, inside term plus x, and last terms, maybe up that x a wee bit, last terms plus 8 equals 3x squared plus 15x. Okay, so when we look at that, just make sure you're comfortable with that and where the numbers are coming from. Okay, now we need to collect like terms. So we want to equate the right-hand side of the expression to 0. So we want to take everything, okay, that's currently on the right-hand side, although we want to be left with a positive x squared term. Okay, so we want to leave one of the sides equal to 0. Okay, because we want to be left with a positive x term, I'm going to bring this over here. In fact, we'll tidy up that right-hand side. Tidy up that right-hand side. Tidying up the right-hand side, collecting like terms. That's 16x and 1x equals 17x. All right, that leaves us a wee bit better. Okay, now we want to bring everything together. Okay, now we want to leave one of the sides with 0. So we need to take every part of the expression over to the other side. Okay, now the expression wants to leave us with positive x squared. So if I bring the 2x squared over to the right-hand side, that will give me 3x squared minus 2x squared, and it will give me my positive x squared term. Okay, so just look out for that. If I brought the 3x squared term over to the other side, it would give me negative, and it essentially would give me that expression backwards, which isn't a bad thing. We just have to correct it. Okay, so moving that 2x squared term over, moving the 17 over, moving the 8 over, will give us 0 on the left-hand side, 3x squared plus 15x minus 2x squared. I'll tidy this up. Minus 2x squared minus 17x minus 8. So I've moved all of those terms over to the other side. Okay, I'm not trying to jump ahead. I'm not trying to complete it already. Just move all of those terms to the other side. Because they're positive on the left-hand side, they'll become negative on the right-hand side. All right, and then you want to collect those like terms. Okay, remember a like term, so x squared term and an x squared term is a like term. So the 3x squared minus 2x squared is going to give me x squared. Okay, remember we don't write it, there's a 1 there. 15x minus 17x is going to be minus 2x. Can't write x's tonight. And what I've got, minus 8. Is that it? Okay. Now remember, we can just spin that round. Okay, so we're not changing sign, we just spin that round and write that as x squared minus 2x minus 8 equals 0. Okay, and that says what we're looking for. All right, so a lot going on there. All right, so take a wee bit of time, take a minute just to look over that. Okay, I'll just pause the recording. Okay, so next part of the question says hence. Okay, so when it says hence in the exam paper, it's saying use your answer from the previous bit of the question. Okay, and find the length and breadth of the rectangle. Okay, So using the expression that we just found, that x squared minus 2x minus 8 equals 0, find the length and breadth of the rectangle. Now, what it's looking for you to do here is factorize that expression. And with the factors, one of them will allow you to solve those formula. Okay, so let's do that. Make sense of that. So we've got the term x squared minus 2x minus 8 equals 0. So it's in the format which we can work with. Okay, so the ax squared plus bx plus c. Okay, now looking at that straight away, in fact, I'll tell you what the clue is here. Paper 1. All right, so it's paper 1. So it's very rare that you'll have to do the quadratic formula. So the minus b plus or minus root b squared minus 4ac over 2a. It's very rare you'll have to do that in the non-calculator paper. So that's the clue, okay, that I'm going to solve just by going through my factorization process. Okay, so that process, CDT is a common factor. No, it's not a difference of 2 squares, so I'm going to do a trinomial. I'm going to add two numbers together to make my b term, so minus 2. I'm going to multiply two numbers together to make my minus 8. Okay, to get a minus, a plus or minus and plus. All right. Factor pairs, so 2 and 4, 1 and 8, like that. That's all it goes into. So plus 2 minus 4. Okay. X plus 2, x minus 4. So my factors then, x could be x plus 2 equals 0, so x could be negative 2, or x could be 4. Okay, so two possible solutions. Now, very often, only one will work. Okay, so very often, only one will work. Now, for us to be able to find the length and breadth, we're using 2x plus 1 and x plus 8. Okay, so we're using to find the length, the expression 2x plus 1. Okay, find the breadth using the expression x plus, is that 8? Oops. X plus 8. So we have to substitute in one of our solutions. Okay, so either x equals negative 2 or x equals 4. Wherever we see that x. Okay. Now, only one will work. Okay. Now, very quickly, I can say, if I substitute negative 2 into that x position, I'm going to have negative 4 plus 1. Negative 4 plus 1 will gain negative 3. I can't have a length of negative 3. So that can't be a solution for me. Okay, so that must mean that x equals 4 is my solution there. So x equals 4, and I substitute that in. I've got 2 times 4 plus 1, 9. And I've got 4 plus 8 equals 12. Okay, so have a wee look at that, make sure you're comfortable with it. Okay, so 2x's plus 13. Oops. that x plus that x plus 13. Okay, so x plus x is 2x. That will be worth 1 mark. Okay. Then they go to this, which honestly I think is a big jump. Okay, it doesn't ask anything in particular, it just hence show 4x squared plus 44x minus 153 equals 0. It's a bit bizarre, but let's have a wee look at what it's asking. So, usually what it's asking, in the last question we did, the first question we did tonight, it asked the area of the rectangle. Essentially, that's what you want to find. We want to find the area of the card. Okay, now it doesn't say that, which is why I'm thinking it's a bit of an odd question. Okay, but the area of the card is what they're looking for. And they want to equate it to 270 centimeters squared. All right, so that's good, isn't it? We've got an expression for the length. Because area is equal to length times breadth, we also need an expression for the breadth of that card. Okay, now the whole border is x. Okay, so the breadth is going to be that 9 plus an x either side. The breadth is going to be 2x plus 9. So the area is going to be length 2x plus 13 multiplied by 2x plus 9. Now remember, this is a calculator paper, so 9 times 13 you can do in a calculator. All right, it was paper 2, wasn't it? Okay, so area, if we break that down, okay. In fact, we need to equate it to 270. We're also told area is equal to 270. Okay, so we need to equate that to 270. Okay, stay with me. 2x plus 13, 2x plus 9. Okay, that's multiplied, equals 270. Now we break the bracket and we tidy up and we equal it to 0. So first terms multiplied together, 4x squared. Outside terms, 18x. Inside terms, 26x. Last terms, 9 times 13 is 117 apparently. 117, that is equal to 270. Remember, it's a calculator paper, so you can do that part in a calculator. Tidy that up by bringing that 270 across. That 270 is a positive on the right-hand side. So it's going to become a negative on the left-hand side, and you're going to be 4x squared plus 26x plus 18x. It's going to give you 44x. Plus 117 minus 270 equals 0. Just tidy that up one more time. Minus 153. 0. That's part B. I think that part B, or sorry, A part 2. I think A part 2 in that question is really poorly worded. All right. So we'll probably catch quite a few people out. But remember what these questions often ask. So a lot of the past papers will ask us to find and area. All right, so length times breadth. What's the expression for length and what's the expression for the breadth? It's given us that area of the card is 270. All right, so there's a lot going on there. Okay. Take a wee bit of time. So it gives you that expression. So if you can't do that part, okay, don't panic. Don't take up too much time in the exam. It's giving you the ability to do the next part of the question, okay, without having you solve that. Okay, so if you get nowhere near it, give it one go, 2 goes maximum. Okay, if you got nowhere near it, move on. Okay, that's really important. Okay, you can come back at the end if you've got a wee bit of time. Let's do part B. Okay, so calculate x, the width of the border. Give your answer correct the 1 decimal place. Again, it's asking us to factorize. Okay, now the fact it's saying 1 decimal place means I'm not going to do that using our CDT method. Okay, but also imagine trying to do that. All right, imagine trying to add 2 numbers together, make 44, and multiplying 2 numbers together to make, what's that, 612. All right, minus, right, it'd be impossible, you'd be mad. You can give it a go, but you'd be crazy, okay? What we use is the formula that's given to us, okay, which is x equals minus b plus or minus root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Okay, we're given that in the exam. We just need to know how to use it. Okay, when you've got numbers this big, remember, do that separately. Focus on that separately. Doing it all as one big equation could throw you a wee bit. Okay, so do that separately. I'll just take that to one side. 4ac equals 44 squared minus 4 times a, which is 4, times c, which is negative 153. Okay, remember, we're needing this to be positive. Okay, so this part here, more than likely going to be positive. Okay, so the negative times the negative is going to create that positive for us. 44 squared is not something I'm going to do in my head. 1936 plus 2448. Okay, 4384. I can sub that in now. So where I've circled pink there, I can circle that in and make it easier for myself. So I'm going to take that x equals negative b will be negative 44. Okay, so 44 is my b term. Remember, I need to change the sign of that. Plus or minus root 4384 all over 2 times 4. I'm going to split that in 2. X equals negative 44 plus root of 4384 all over 8. And x is equal to negative 44 negative 4384 oops, all over 8. Okay. Okay, so I've got 2 expressions going at the exact same time here. Wants to paint a black one. Okay. Whoa. It really doesn't like that purple line. Anyway, putting that in the calculator, you will get plus Okay, now again, we're getting two answers. We're getting a positive answer and we're getting a negative answer. Now thinking about what it's asking, calculate x, the width of the border. Well, the width of the border can't be a negative, so we can't have it being negative 13.78. Okay, we've got a positive 2.78. Looking at the numbers, that makes sense. Okay, now that picture in the original question, it won't be to scale. You won't be able to measure it and work it out. Okay, but the numbers should make a bit of sense. So if that's 9 centimeters from there to there, and I'm getting an answer of 2 centimeters, well, that looks about right. All right, now that's just a silly wee check. That's nothing. Don't do that, don't stick to that, okay? But it makes sense in my head. If I look at that, it makes sense. Okay, 2.78 is the answer. Now, because it asks, oh, in fact, 1 decimal place, 2.8 is my answer. Okay, because it asks you to calculate x, the width of the border, we need to specify. All right, so be certain or be sure, okay, and write the width as 2.8 centimeters. Okay, because it asks you specifically what the width is, you're going to get two answers here. They don't know which one you mean unless you make it really clear. All right. Just want to check the answer scheme actually and just make sure what they say. Right. Digest that, how we think about it. I've just opened the marking scheme up, okay, to look at that. So I've opened marking scheme for 2015. Okay, and it was question 14 of paper 2, okay. That's the answer in front of me there. So B, the answer is x equals 2.8 centimeters. Okay, so to 1 decimal place. Okay, let's have a look at what the marks are for. So you get 4 marks in total. You get 1 mark for putting it into the quadratic formula. You get 1 mark, actually, there you go, for just working out that 4384. So that bit we did separately, you get 1 mark for. All right. You get 1 mark for solving the 2 answers, and then you get 1 mark for selecting the correct answer. Okay, so that last thing I put, the width is 2.8. Okay, you get a mark for that. That is so easy to miss. Okay, such an easy mark to miss. It's also such an easy mark to get. You already have the answer. You're just rewriting it and making sure that you're picking the right one. We can't pick a negative value for the width. Okay, it has to exist. Right, tell you what we can do. There's another one of those questions. Any questions on that so far? I bet you there is, but is that question different? Yeah, that question's slightly different. Okay, so give that question a, am I sharing that? Yeah, give that question a go. Okay, have a wee bash at it. Okay, it's on this sheet that I handed out the other night. Okay, one of the sheets. Right, have a wee go at that. Okay. What makes this even more horrible, I think, is the fact we've got the full width and we're going to take away the two x's. All right, so it's really similar in setup to the last one. Okay, but a wee bit different. Just make it a wee bit smaller. All right, so similar to the last one we did, but a wee bit different. Okay, now just going to say that the area of a rectangle equals length times breadth. Okay, so we need an expression for length. I'm going to say 12 minus 2x. Okay, 12 minus x and x there. Okay, so 12 minus 2x. Breadth 9 minus 2x. Okay, so bringing them both together, part A show that 12 minus 2x, 9 minus 2x. Okay, and then it's about breaking the brackets. 12 and 9 is 108. Okay, outside is minus 24x, minus 18x, and then plus 4x squared. Okay, tidying that up, 108 minus 42, is that right? Yep. Plus 4x squared, and then I'll just rearrange that. Okay, I'm just going to rearrange that, 4x squared minus 42x. Plus 1. Okay, so that's us showing that the area equals that. Okay, so when I'm asked to show something, I'm asked to prove it. I'm asked to show the working of how to get there. Okay. Anyone way off with that? Not get it at all, or? Okay, next part is putting that into the quadratic. Okay, so let me go minimize that. Jesus. Need to change page on. All right, we're going to equate that to, for part B, we're going to equate that to this 54. Okay, so that's an expression for our area. We're getting told area equals 54. Okay, that's how we start part B. Now we want to leave, to solve, we want to leave a 0 on the right hand side. So we bring that 54 over to the left hand side and then just tidy that up. And then we're solving that. Okay, we're solving that expression. The breadth. So someone's just asking where I got the breadth from. So the 9 centimeters is the full width across. All right, so it's given at the top. Right, so that 9 centimeters minus 2x. All right, so x is the width of the border. All right, take in the full width of it. Okay, the border has to be taken twice. Okay, so I'll need to add in a page. Why is it not working? Is that not working? There we go. Okay, so we want to solve that and find a value of x that makes sense. All right, and that's really important. We need a value of x that makes sense. Now, looking at the numbers in there, I'm not going to try my CDT. So I'm going to go straight for x equals negative b plus or minus root b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Okay, I'm going to take and do to the side that b squared minus 4ac. All right, I'm just going to take that to the side to do it. Remember, you get a mark just for that. So b squared is negative 42 squared minus 4 times 54. Negative 42 squared. Positive 1764 minus 864. Get 900. So my x 42 plus or minus root of 900 all over 2 times 4, which is 8. Okay, and just be careful. Remember that sign there changes. Okay, so negative 42 becomes positive 42. Split that expression in two. Putting that on your calculator, getting an answer of 9, you're getting an answer of 3 over 2. So you're getting 2 positive answers here. Now, we need to indicate which one of these is correct. Okay, so it's not immediately obvious here. If you look back at that picture, right, I know it's hard to see, might not be framed quite rightly. Right, so it might have been out your screen. If you look at that picture, okay, the full width is 9. So the full width of that picture is 9 centimeters. X can't be 9 centimeters. All right, that just doesn't make sense. If X is 9 centimeters, then it's the border's the full width of the picture. It just doesn't make sense. So X cannot equal 9. So that means x must equal 3 over 2. So and remember, state that. So border is 3 over 2 centimeters wide. Or if you want to write that, 1.5. Did anyone get close? But not. Anyone's no question? Because these are quite tricky to get our heads around. Okay, what I feel would be quite good. We try another 2 questions on our own. Okay, so have a wee bash at these. Okay, you see them okay? Take your silence is a good sign. Okay, have a go at those 2 questions. So we took 10 minutes for the last one. So we take up to 10.2. Okay, so come back together at 10.2. Have a wee go at that. Okay. Yeah. So the first part of this question is really quite awkward. The area of the lawn should hopefully not cause too much trouble. All right, so this purple area. All right, that's the lawn. Then we get breadth of the lawn and the length of the lawn. Okay, so that hopefully should be not bad. So breadth equals x, length equals 3x. Okay, and that's given it to us in the question 3 times its breadth. Okay, so we'll leave that there. Now, there's a path. All right, and the path is a wee bit weird. The way I looked at it is I split it up into 3 different areas and added them together. All right, and I don't know if that's the right way to do it. Just looking at that question for the first time, what I did was split that into area 1. Okay, which was 1 meter by x. Okay, there's another area over here, which again is 1 meter by x. And then you've got the top one up here, which different colour. This bit here, where you've got 1 meter. Okay. That bit to that bit is 3x. Okay. That bit there. And then we've got 1 meter there and 1 meter there. If anyone's got an easier way to do this, let me know. Okay, so we've got 3 separate areas that we need to add together to get the area of the path. So area 1 is 1 times x. Okay, area 1 is x. Area 2 is the exact same, 1 times x. Okay, length times breadth. So again, that's just x. Area 3 is 3x plus 2 multiplied by 1. Okay, so area 3, let's write that out again. Area equals length times breadth. The length of that, okay, the length of that is 3x plus 2 times the breadth of 1. So the area is 3x plus 2. I generally think that's the only way. There probably is another way to do it. Okay, and then you add those areas together. So total area would be 1 plus 2 plus 3 equals x plus 3x plus 2. Okay, should give 5x plus 2. I don't think you'll get anything that hard. All right. That is a past paper from 2004. Is there another way to do that? Probably. Okay, but I can't see it at this time of night. Anyone else do that a different way? Let's go through the question and see. Okay, so we're showing that. Okay, so the area of the lawn equals the area of the path. So we want the area of the lawn. Okay. Area of lawn equals area of path. Area of the lawn's length times spread. All right, so it's x times 3x. Area of the path is what we found out down here, so the 5x plus 2. Okay, so that's 3x squared equals 5x plus 2. And then we take it all over to the left-hand side. Give us 3x squared minus 5x minus 2 equals 0. The only other way I can see doing that is you find the whole area of that shape and then take away the area of the pink area, the lawn. But that would be a horrible expression. I think that's the easiest way to do that. Did anyone else get the right answer and not do it that way? Did anyone else get the right answer? Talk to me. Okay. Part B, hence find the length of the lawn. This is what I'm saying. If part A is awkward and it's horrible and you don't get it, it's giving you the expression that you need to use in part B. Okay, in part B, we need to use 3x squared minus 5x minus 2. Okay, that's what we're trying to solve in part B. So it's giving you the part B. Part B is worth 4 marks. Okay, so if you don't get part A, don't panic, try it a couple of times, but don't waste time on it. If you can't get part A, move on to part B, it's still worth 4 marks. Okay. 3x squared minus 5x minus 2. Hence find the length of the lawn. Okay, so part B, 3x squared minus 5x minus 2 equals 0. Okay, the numbers aren't too bad. Okay, but and it doesn't ask for 1 decimal point. But in paper 2, so I'm going to assume it's going to give me a decimal. I'm going to use the formula. Okay, x equals negative b plus or minus root b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. I'm going to do b squared minus 4ac over here. B is minus 5 squared minus 4 minus, sorry, times 3 times negative 2. Negative 5 squared is 25. Minus 4 minus 2 is 8. Times 3 is plus 24. Equals 49. Okay. X equals negative 5, which is going to give me 5, plus or minus root of 49 over 2 times a, which is 2 times 3, and give me 6. Split that in 2. Root 49 we can actually solve. Okay, it's 7. We'll just leave it in root 49. x equals 5 minus 49 over 6. 5 plus 7 is 12 over 6. 5 minus 7 is -2 over 6, which is -1/3. Okay, what was the question? The question was find the length of the lawn. Okay, the length of the lawn was 3x. Okay, so the length equals 3. There's got to be 3 times one of these answers. Now, if we did 3 times that answer, we'd get -1. Again, we can't have a negative answer, so it has to be 3 times 2, which is 6 meters. And that's worth 4 marks. Okay. Remember the breakdown of the marks. You've got 1 for just doing the b squared. You get 1 doing that. You get 1 for getting both the answers, and you get 1 for using it. 4 marks. Okay. So don't forget that mark. Okay. This one I hope was a wee bit easier. Maybe. Area of a triangle. It's half length times breadth. Oh, sorry, height. Half length times height. Okay. The length 2x. The height 2x minus 5. Okay, so we're just substituting those figures in. The area equals a half times 2x times 2x minus 5. All right. Half times 2x. Cancel those 2's out. Okay, so a half times 2x, just leave us with x. Pardon me. So we'll be left with x, 2x minus 5. 2x squared minus 5x. Okay, so we've got an expression for the area. Okay, we're now told the area of the triangle is 7. So we can say 2x squared minus 5x is 7. To get it in the format that we work with, 2x squared minus 5x, and we move 7 over, minus 7 equals 0. Okay. Now, this was actually in the non-calculator paper. Okay, which tells me you should be able. Would you know? I'm just going to double check that. Is that in the non-calculator? Yeah, it was on paper 1. We're getting a decimal. Okay, so it was on paper 1. We're getting a decimal. Now, being in paper one, I've told you very rarely we have to use the formula. And this one we do. I'll tell you how you identify that. I'll just go through the answer, right? And then we'll have a look at making sure we can identify that. So x equals negative b plus or minus root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Okay, take the b squared out. B squared minus 4ac equal minus 5 squared minus 4 times 2 times negative 7. 25 negative 4 times negative 7 plus 28 times 2 is plus 56 equals 81. Okay, now hopefully you'll be able to see when we put that in, you've got positive 5 plus or minus root of 81 all over 2a, which is 4. All right, 2 times a is 4. That's our expression. Remember, this is a non-calculator. When I get that, I don't have a calculator to solve that, which means this term needs to be able to root, okay, which at this time it does. So root 81 is just the number 9, okay? So root 81 equals 9. So it's 5 plus 9 over 4. X equals 5 minus 9 over 4. 5 plus 9 is 14 over 4. Simplify your fraction down. So that will give me 7 over 2, which will give me 3.5. 5 minus 9 give me negative 4 over 4, which will give me negative 1. Okay. It's asking, what is it asking? Calculate the value of x. Okay, in this case, x can't be a negative. Okay, so x has to equal 3.5 centimeters. I never recorded that, so apologies, but it does work if we do factorization. All right, hopefully you guys got that one. That wasn't, so the first one was difficult. Y divided by 2. It's just the process of it. All right, so that's just a factorization process. So someone's just asking why we're dividing by 2. I'm guessing at this stage. Okay, we're dividing it 2 by this stage because it's a process when there's a number in front of the x squared. All right, so that's the process that we do. Okay, so that number in front of the x squared goes in our brackets, it also goes underneath. Okay, so if that was a 3, they would be 3s. Okay, so that's just going back to when we were doing factorization. You can see then, that's a good example when you can either use the formula or go through the factorization. You get the same answer. Right. 8:15. So we get given a target. So we're getting given this. We need to get there. Okay, so that's where we want to get to, part A. Okay, now let's break it down. We're given the full area. Okay, we're given the full area. So the full area of the rectangle.
I think the board's froze.
We're frozen. You share. Good shout. Okay, we're given that as a. You see that? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So we're given this as a target. Okay, that's what we want to get to. Okay. So area, the full rectangle, we can work out its length times breadth. 10 times 6, which is 60 centimeters squared. Okay. What we're given that, show that the area of the blue rectangle. Okay. Now the blue rectangle we can get by taking the fact that we know this full area is full rectangle. Okay. And if we minus yellow area, and the red area from the full 60 centimeters, we'll get the area for the blue. We'll be left with the area of the blue. Okay. So area of blue, is that what we're looking for? Yeah. Area of the blue equals total area, 60, minus area of yellow, minus area of red. So what we want to do is find an expression of this and find an expression of this and put it in. Okay, so we need an expression for yellow. All right, the area of the yellow. Area of the yellow x centimeters multiplied by 10. Okay, so the area of the yellow, nice and simple, just 10 times x. The area of the red, a wee bit more complicated, okay? Oops. Area of the red area. Area of the red area, area of the red area. To get the length of it, or to get this bit here, we need to do 6 minus x. Okay. So the area is going to be this bit x multiplied by 6 minus x, which equals 6x minus x. Horrible question, isn't it? Okay, so area of the blue equals 60 minus the area of the yellow minus the area of the red. We put that in one big expression. Area of blue equals 60, which is the total area, minus 10x, which is the area of the yellow, minus 6x minus x squared. 60 minus 10x minus, breaking the brackets up so we can tidy it up, minus 6x plus x squared. All right, so when I'm breaking that bracket up, that x squared becomes positive. And I can rearrange that. Horrible. All right. Take that forward into the next bit. Okay, again, in the exam, if you don't get that, it is giving you the expression to take forward into part B. And all you need to do is factorize that expression. So it's giving you the answer for part A. You need to prove it. Okay, you need to get there. You need to show that it's true. But you can then take that. If you don't get part A, take that and put it in part B. Okay. Part B tells us that the area of the blue is 1/5 of the area of the total, or sorry, the total area of the logo. Okay, so it's 1/5 of 60. Okay. So doing fractions, that's just 60 divided by 5, so it's 12. Okay. So the area of the blue is 12 centimeters squared. Now we want to use that to find out what x is. Okay, so we want to use that to find out what x is. So again, we can take that formula forward. We're given. Okay, we want to equate it to 0. And then we want to factorize it. Now, you could do formula, but actually looking at those numbers, it's not actually too bad. So 148, 224, 3, 16, 32, 16, 4 and 12, 5 doesn't, 6. Anyway, it's going to be -4, -12. Okay. My factors. Are 4 and not 12. All right, so you could use the quadratic formula and you'd get the same answers out. All right, but just looking at that expression, I could see just through experience that I could work that out quite easily. Okay, now you might look at that and say numbers are too big. I'm using the formula, absolutely fine. All right, you'll get the same answers out. So if you did the minus b plus minus blah blah blah, okay, you get the same answers out. Now, remember the last mark is saying which one of these is true. Okay, so x centimeters is the value that we use here. Okay, for this length. And we're getting x can either equal 4 or 12. Well, what one makes sense? Well, the whole length is 10 centimeters. So that length there can't equal 12. All right, that can't happen as an answer. So that one must equal 4. X must equal 4. So x equal 4 centimeters. Yuck, 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 yuck.